This is All Things Fitness and Wellness, uniting industry thought leaders and fitfluencers on the mission to inspire innovation and encourage people to live a life fit and well. Brought to you by British Columbia Personal Training Institute. Learn how to train, gain, and retain clients. Visit bcpti.ca. Bodybuilding is a sport that's often misunderstood by those that aren't in the community. If you're just scrolling along social media and encounter a photo, you may find yourself with questions of why and how somebody would push themselves in such a way. My time in the competitive circuit, I've definitely found that most people had a deep-rooted why that propelled them along that path. And my guest today is no different. It's IFBB Pro Tyler Okowinsky. Okowinsky's story is deeply personal, very raw, and I so appreciate for how real he was in this interview as we talk about the unimaginable loss of his son, how that propelled him to deal with a lot of dark demons, and ultimately how he got to the other side of that to achieve his goals as an IFBB Pro. Before we get to it, be sure to hit like and subscribe. We have new episodes of the Industry Series every Monday and the Celebrity Series every Wednesday. This is ATFW. You have had one of the most incredible journeys to watch, and you're really a story about heart, perseverance, and just fucking going for it. But I want to start with your early days. What was your early relationship with fitness?
I lifted my first dumbbell when I was like 13, maybe even younger. My dad had older brothers that were 5 years older than me. They were all playing around with dumbbells in my basement. And I was like, oh, I'll just waddle over there. I'll give this a little go. And my dad watched from afar. And then my brothers kind of watched. And then I started lifting the same weights they were lifting. And they were 5 years older. And I'm sitting here, I'm like 14. I'm like, can we add some of this? I was like, I duct taped weights because we didn't have clips. My dad just had some old iron bar and a couple like old dumbbells. So I took the old dumbbells apart and I taped those weights to the straight bar so I could do like triceps. I could do biceps. And it was
What
so
was their
sketch.
reaction? Were they like, holy shit, we created a beast?
Well, first of all, my brother came downstairs like, all I hear is, who the hell did this to the weights? And here's me. I'm like, gotta get bigger. And I'm like 14. Then my dad was like, who did this? He came and there's me. I was like, yeah, that's how it like started. I've always was active. I BMX, I played football. It was just, I don't know. It just came with the territory, I guess, around being around like my dad and my brothers and everyone. Like my sister was athletic, so it was kind of like, I don't know, instilled in me from birth, I guess you could say. My dad was like the fastest man in Manitoba.
It's so cool when you have a family where it's ingrained in you from such an early age. Talk me through, though, and I really appreciate you being open on this, but I know in your early 20s, you went through a hardship that some people would never be able to imagine surviving. So talk about this catalyst moment in your life.
23 years old, newlywed, married, starting a family, amazing. Love my wife. She's amazing. It was awesome. Relationship's great. Everything's good. Golden. Okay, start having kids young. Everyone's like, oh, that's young. But I wanted to have kids young. I wanted to be in my 40s and my kids gone and done doing their thing. It's just how I wanted it to be. So me and my wife, we had a child. His name was Brady. Amazing. After Tom Brady.
Of course.
I'm a Patriots fan. And 4 months into our first child, he passed away from SIDS. So what had happened was I had him for the day. I said, all right, put him down for his nap. You know what I mean? And then I put him down for his nap. I went for my nap. I woke up. He did not, right? CPR, all this crazy stuff happened. And you go into like the PTSD, all this stuff happened to that 23-year-old brain of mine. And I was already athletic, aggressive. I was already like super, super like fired up, always energy, always not looking for a fight, but always willing to fight if we had to, pushing around on the bar. So it was always the alpha energy, the big dick swinging attitude, that kind of vibration. And that's how I was. Add that to the mix. Man, that's some heavy shit. You don't want to go through that.
No, and especially at that age, I think any age, you're left with this question of how do I process all this emotion? And especially in your early 20s, there's not a
ton of life experience behind you to really equip you with the emotional intelligence to move through that in a healthy way. And quite honestly, no one is prepared for a loss like that. So you're faced with the unimaginable. What happens then? Because as you said, a lot of pent up alpha energy. So where do you start to propel?
You have a sink or swim mentality, I would say at that point. I went through 3.5 years of like drug use, alcohol, fighting myself, fighting people, fighting society, DUI, car accidents. I was testing the world for like 3.5 years. Take me, come on. You want to take me? I was religious. I was at Sunday church every year, every Sunday before this. I renounced religion. I renounced everything. I said enough is enough. I don't listen to nobody. I don't. I don't want to listen to nobody. I was not trying to like. I didn't want to kill myself, but I was testing the boundaries of my life, and I did not really care if I lived or died. It was like a constant on my shoulder. Hey, what can you do today to fuck shit up? I'm like, I'll figure it out.
Yeah.
I was like, I'll figure it out. I'll go piss someone off. I'll bump into someone with a shopping cart. I'll like again. This is the kind of shit I'm talking about. My brain was so rewired to like the most negative mindset. It was like, holy shit, how do you get out of this? And this leads me to this. I got to a point, I was like 29, 28. I was working at a nightclub. I was doing concrete work. I was working mad long hours. I was really hustling. And the whole two-faced lifestyle, like I was really starting to get it back into my lifting, but I'm still drinking on the weekends. I'm still partying, occasionally dip into the party favors, and you know what I mean? Like have an occasional. I met some good people in my life. Scott Millen, my mentor, he just passed away 3 years ago, but rest in peace, buddy. He told me, he's like, dude, you're doing all this fucked up shit, and look at you. Look how you look. Like you got out of this, and you're like still like you're 260 pounds. Like you're a big dude. Like you could probably be a pro bodybuilder like me. I was like, oh yeah. I'm like, you know what? You got a point here. Okay. All right. And a year went by, and then a year after, I said, hey, can you get me ready for a photo shoot? He's like, yeah, sure. So I did a photo shoot. I think it was 2014. Then I met Ronnie Coleman 2 weeks before my photo shoot, which I have always loved to watch and read in magazines, because back in the day we had magazines, we didn't
Yeah.
have any of this.
It's okay. We're in the same age boat here. So I'm with you.
Yeah, exactly. So, and then I met him, and then he was like, dude, what's your next pro show? I was like, this, what? I'm like, I haven't even competed yet, man. And we did like a double bicep flex together. And I was like, I haven't even competed yet, bro. He's like, well, you should. And that was it. Between him, Ronnie Coleman, the king, and my mentor and late friend, Scott Millen, whew, that was it. It was game on. And then I rewired my brain to Brady being here as my shoulder angel. Remember before I said there was just demons here, like telling me
Yep.
how Brady was here. He was kind of like, he was like piggybacking, and he's like, Dad, I'm here, I got you. And he was, I get emotional because it's like
Of course.
I want to have his passing in not in vain, but like like I became prosperous from his passing and grateful from his passing, because everyone knows his name. If he would have survived, say if he would have been living and he'd been like 14, I'd be doing the same thing. It wouldn't be the same, because his impact on this world is far greater than it would be if he was alive. So again, I look at it now. I'm like, oh man, you died and you had so much impact on people, man. Like, bro, you, Brady. Everyone sees the hashtags. Everyone sees him post Brady this, Brady that. That his name is inspiration for me, and now for others dealing with terrible traumatics in life. Like you have to be able to turn that superior, negative, demonic, terrible vibrations and terrible things into, all right, it's gonna break me, but it ain't gonna make me, kind of thing, right? It can break you. You could be on your knees, crying, anguish, pain, suffering. Oh man. But that shit will teach you something that like a school degree can't. You know what I
Thousand
mean?
percent.
It's just whoa, ironclad. Get your chest going, man. It makes you breathe different. take life not for granted anymore. And yeah, his honor of his name is why I chose my path as a bodybuilder in a hole. And then the gentlemen I mentioned before, they kind of were like, get it, go get it. And then all the people I met along the way, like, dude, holy shit, you're so close. You're this close to being pro. And it was just like, okay, more fuel to the fire. Let's get this rocking. Let's get this shit done. And yeah, it's been beautiful the last 8 years, I'd say. And then looking at it from behind and seeing where I was and how dark the world had gotten to, like, fast forward now, and you're like, now what would have happened if that didn't, I probably wouldn't be here. And that's just facts. I would not be here talking to you, trying to instill some things into other people, and I'm supremely grateful for the opportunity to be alive and to do my son's honor. And that's huge, man. Like, it's very important to me.
Well, and I think it's just a beautiful thing to turn something so full of pain into purpose. And obviously the path to that wasn't linear, but I think that your impact has such a greater impact because there was so much strife and struggle through much of your 20s to get to this other side of it. And then subsequently now you've used all that fuel to accomplish your goals in a way that you have this notoriety that you're able to use your platform and be able to share a message that most certainly is going to resonate with others. Because when you're in the depths of that darkness, just as well, oftentimes you can't even see the help around you. You're just in the thick of it and it's dark,
yeah,
it's
definitely
heavy. Yeah, you have no idea how to get out of the hole. And
you
so
don't know who's
having
trying to
someone
help
like
you or not.
exactly, exactly. Like, I mean, it's disorienting, it's blinding, it's darkness. Talk me through those last couple of years, though, where you're talking about that pendulum swing, where you're kind of in it, but still dealing with those temptations that weren't necessarily serving you on the outside. Obviously, you had two influential individuals come into your life saying, hey, what are we doing? But what kind of was that moment that slowly started you pulling out of the depths of the darkness?
It wasn't like a slow thing. So I had a legal problem. I can't go into details because it was a
Fair.
civil thing. There was a civil thing that kind of transpired after it. I had a legal thing that happened. And I was just like, all right, this is the world trying to tell me, because I was well on my way. I was well on my way. I'm like, yeah, this is it. This is it. This is it. Life needed to go like this. Hey, dickhead, you were an asshole for like 4 years to society, to the world. You're a nuisance, motherfucker. You need to, there, just see if you can, yeah, one more problem. One more thing. Can you solve this? You that strong? Are you ready? Are you actually ready? It was awesome. And I am grateful that actually happened. And, and it's funny because if someone ever watches it, they're like, son of a bitch. Well, you, you know what I mean? You try to kick somebody, say not when they're down, but when they're trying to get up and try to fucking get shit done. You kick someone, they kind of stumble. That's what that happened there. And then I got up and Mike Tyson that shit. It was like next level. I got up. I'm like, nope, we're done. I cut everything. I cut everyone off. All bad friends, all bad energies. I started meditating. I started breathing. I literally was just cut, by, cut the cord, cut the cord, cut the cord. Had a select few people in my life, and that was it. And honestly, I can attest for that. The circle that surrounds you is what makes shit done. Yeah, I have like 5 people in my life that are like, damn. I'm like, yeah, you're getting it. Let's do it. That's what happened. It wasn't like oh, okay. I did for like 2 years, but it like back, okay, on the weekends I'll drink and then I'll be good. But that was like till like 29. And then it was boom, like violent kick. Like, hey, you can't be doing that shit. Like, I might have gotten to where I'm at now, but maybe at like 40 instead of now already having it 2 years ago.
Totally the thing that happens with the universe, though, where it'll literally like give you a nudge. And if you keep going and not listening, eventually it's like, cool. I'm going to smack you over the fucking head. You can choose where this is going to send you. And
Yeah.
I'm so proud that you chose to use it as the fuel and say, I have had enough. This is the direction I'm going. How did it feel getting on stage for the very first time? Because obviously we know you have an epic journey and we'll get you there. But tell me about time number one.
Well, my family was there. It was like, holy, and this was like a year and a bit after all that legal shit happened. So everyone was like, holy shit, he did not care. This is like straight up, man, like my brother was yelling from the crowd, or my dad screaming. Like I was on stage loving life. It, you could see it in my face, like on some of my stage photos. You see the face and you see me. I'm just so happy to be up there. I'm completing a task at hand. I have honor of my son on my sleeve, and I just absolutely disbarred anything that had happened over the last year and a half. It was absolutely phenomenal. It was one of those life changing moments, and I knew I was walking down the stairs. I was like, "Oh shit!" I was like, "Uh oh."
This is my life now.
I was like sitting there. I'm like, "Uh oh." I'm like, "I want to go again," and and I did. I did go again that year, and yeah, it was fantastic. And
Well,
that
and
was it.
fuck yeah, you did. You went again many times, and I understand now the goal really goes into gear. So let's talk journey to the pro card, because like many know, the dedication, I mean, it's no, people that have never competed will never know. And like, I can't even imagine competing to the level that you do. And then all the preparation and hitting those times where it doesn't happen for you. So talk me through this journey, because now you're fucking fired up on this.
There was like a 2 year period there where it was intense. We'll start right from the beginning. Well, I'll go 2019. 2019, I was going into, so I was super heavyweight in 2017. I took a year off, really got my body into a good shape, structure, X frame, brought a lot of different parts of my body up, things that were lagging behind. I brought up, but I dropped into a lighter class for open bodybuilding. So that's the open, the small trunks, the bikini trunks. And then I got into the class and I got like fourth or fifth, I believe it was, at Toronto Pro qualifier. I was like, what the hell? I'm like, that doesn't feel, I was like conditioned as shit. And I'm like, whatever. And I was like, you know what? Screw this bodybuilding stuff. I'm gonna do classic because I pose classic. I'm very I call it romantic with my posing. And I was like, nope, that's it. A week later, I'm on stage. I had dropped 28 pounds somehow in 5 days. And I got
Shit.
on stage. Yeah, I got on stage as classic physique. And people are like, he's not going to be able to make it. Damn near almost killed myself. But I've been through worse in my life. And this is where it gets back to like going through the negative stuff. I've been through so much worse. I'm like, what's not eating food for 4 days going to do to me? Absolutely nothing. I'm here. I got water. I got some salt and magnesium. I'm like, we're good. I was hallucinating. My brother was like driving me up to, where was it? The Crush Cancer Classic. Where was that? Kitchener. I was seeing like dogs on the side of the road. I think I seen a cop car. He's like, I'm like, dude, slow down. It's a cop car. He's like, all right, let's get you to the hotel. I'm like, anyways, I ended up winning that show. And then I was gifted, because I was the best bodybuilder at the show, whichever they all chose to vote. And they gave me the free trip to Vancouver, which led me to you guys.
Yeah.
And again, went to that show. Did not go as planned. Looked great, felt great. Just I was too much of a bodybuilder in classic. They placed me like fifth.
Turn your passion for fitness into a career with British Columbia Personal Training Institute. Taught by personal trainers, BCPTI combines classroom and in-gym training to give you the tools needed to succeed in the fitness industry and make an impact. With a simple formula focused on service, science, and sales, prospective personal trainers learn how to gain, train, and retain clients. Visit bcpti.ca for more information.
That put me in like a wormhole. Like I was like defeated. I was like, oh man, I got home. I'm like, what just happened? I did all this work, and I was like, damn. And I was like, like literally. And I just had opened up a supplement store. Like I had a lot on my plate, and I was like, all right, I'll figure this out. And I was like, I got to move closer to the supplement store. So I moved closer to the supplement store. I got a new house.
And like context on that, all of this effort work, changing weight classes, that whole thing happening on top of regular life, and not just a casual, oh, take care of this, Bob. Like you're running a store.
Good. Had sponsors, Nutribolics, shout out to them. I'm not sponsored by them anymore. Great products. I have Iron Bull. They took care of a lot of like expense stuff. But this is before I can like heavily lean on my bodybuilding as my sole income. Like I got my Team U official was running, was good, but I needed more. And that's why I got the store going. And then once I really, really understood that at that moment when I was sitting there, was it August, I believe it was, and I was like, fuck, I got to compete again, man. I'm right there. Is regardless if I got fifth or not, I'm like, I'm still right there. I believe I just need to clean up my posing day in, day out, 45 minutes a day, worked on posing. Legit, 45 minutes a day. Then I flew into Philippines. I was my best ever. There was, I looked like plastic. It was nuts. I spilt over. My mistake is I self-coached myself with a little couple eyes in. I have a good friend of mine, Ben Wise, my spiritual advisor. He looks in on me, but it was all me. I was sitting backstage and ate a couple, I ate a meal that I shouldn't have, but I didn't know how long the show was behind. And even the judges, like Tim Gardner, he told me, you lost it. You lost it between prejudging and finals. And I was like,
Oh no.
oh no. I was like, this is absolutely horrid. It was 24-hour flight to the Philippines. Like I still had vacation after, but I remember leaving that stage and I had don't judge me, anyone. I don't care actually. The jug of protein that I had given to me, like some supplement, I fucking whipped it down the hall, shit flying everywhere. I'm like, what the just happened? I'm like, what in the world just happened? And it was all me. And it wasn't like, oh, the judges didn't. But I own that shit, and I was pissed at myself. I remember I
Right.
grabbed the steering wheel of the car. I'm like, what is wrong with you, you knob? You knew what you needed to do. It ran late. You didn't need any more food. I spilt over and whatever. And that's how it works sometimes, right?
I
Especially when
think
you
that
self-coach.
emotion's very valid. Like, that's very fair to have that come out because, as well, like your body is stressed out going through that. And it's not just like you put effort in that day, right? This is a
Yeah, I don't know.
culmination of many day
18
in, day
months.
out of effort.
18
So,
months.
like, that's very fair. So, I know it sounds like you already are already, but give yourself grace on that one because we're
Yeah,
humans.
this is where it gets interesting. Because then I was like, okay, all right, there's a show in February. I needed some time to decompress. I think it was the Ireland Classic in Ireland. So I was like, all right, cool. I'm going to book that, get that ready, and go. You know what happened in 2020? We all do. COVID hit, and I was like, oh, I'm like ready for my show. 4 weeks out from my show,
Oh,
peeled to a
fuck.
bone. I look even better than Philippines. Benoit said I look better. Like my brother was like, holy shit, man, this is scary. And I was like, uh-oh. Now we have no gym. We had nothing. And I started working out with bands. And I was like, okay, next show is I think what the hell was it? There's a Poland show that got canceled. Everything started getting canceled. The shows were still going, but then like, how long is this going? You know what? We all know what happened. Like, oh,
Yeah.
another 4 weeks, another 4 weeks. So I was like, okay, okay. And then I was like, what's gonna happen here? I'm like, holy shit, North Americans in August? That's 18 months of prep. I've been at 5%, 6% body fat for 18 months. I'm like, all right, this is like, I think it was May. And I'm like, okay, North Americans it is. Thankfully, they did the Tyler Mannion, Jim Mannion, man, shout out to Gary Undit, all these guys. They put on I couldn't believe they put it on. We're outside in the tent. You guys rock, by the way. I hope you guys see this. Those are the head promoters of the IFBB, the NPC. Frick, man. It was so awesome. And Ron Hasey, he gave me a bypass to the show. He's like, yeah, man, you can go compete. No one else is. Not another Canadian competed except me. I muscled my way over the border somehow. It was, I don't know how, but it was nowhere near as bad as the airports. I was, I guess, walked on the plane, walked off, good, bye, oh, all right, cool. I was like worried at first. I'm like, nope, walked off, went into the North Americans and won. And I worked out with bands and a Smith machine for 6 months. And anyone that says, oh, bands don't do anything or you need this, that, and the other, I need to go to the most elite gym in the world. Fuck you. Like, dude, just shut the hell up and get shit done. Just get it done. There's no excuses. Anyone else that says shit like that, just lazy. Lazy. And I did it and I'm happy and I'm proud. Looking back and I'm talking about it again, it's like it's pretty fucking badass, man. I don't know a lot of people. A lot of people are like, oh, just next year, we'll wait. Dude, I was in that zone. I had bullseye. I'm like, no, we ain't done yet. We're getting this done. We're gonna get it done one way or another. A week out from that show, fell down the stairs, broke my collarbone or tore my rotator cuff, my shoulder. So that was a week before the stage. I didn't even know if I couldn't even raise my arm. I was shaking on stage. I still won. So again, it was like that last thing back when I was like 29. It was that last kick when I fell down the stairs. It was like hat. Let's see what you do now. I'm like, oh man. And I did it, and it was absolutely wild. I bawled uncontrollably for like 5 minutes. I called my brother. Like, I was like, dude, I'm like, holy shit. I was like sweating because it was hot out. It was the end of like summer. It was hot in the tent. I was like, tan is dripping down my eyes. I'm like, oh my God, I did it. Holy shit. It was great. And it was in my son's name. I had his onesie with me because I carried it every show. It came to every one of my shows. So I pulled it out and I had tan all over it. And I was like, oh shit. It was one of those moments where, and this is where it comes to like, what was your medicine? What was your thing? How did you fix things? That was my closure, man. That was like every ounce of closure I needed on my son's passing was right then and there because I knew I could do anything I fucking wanted as long as my boy is with me. And he'll be with me forever until I die. He ain't like he's going nowhere. He's already gone to where he needs to be, and he's with me. And it's fucking intense. Like I just get emotional about it because it's like, dude, he's right here. All right,
Oh.
Dad, what else are you gonna fuck up?
But
It's
like,
awesome.
that's what I find that's so cool about your story is that the struggle, as I say, unimaginable. It is something that would break a lot of people because we all know when we're presented with moments like that in life, there is that choice. And the easy choice, it's not actually the easiest when you're in it, but it's to stay down. It's very easy to stay down, and there's enough distractions to keep you down and things to numb you and substances and self-destruction that you could have stayed in that pattern truly. And so to all of a sudden make the choice, there's such a power in that. And I can't even imagine how that would feel having Brady, as you say, replace that noise and the demons that were trying to pull you in, and Brady has shone through, and then to share that moment on stage with him,
Oh,
no wonder there were
intense.
tears. That must have just been such a flood of a million emotions at once.
I had some video footage of me walking off the stage. I don't know where it is, but I really want to find it. And you could see me. I did one of these, like a little fist bump on the side, and you see me put my head up and then put it down. That's when they started. Like you watch me, and I was just supposed to go down the stairs, and I'm like, oh, that's when it happened. I was bawling, and I didn't even get my card at that point. We had walked off. I was dead center, dead nut center, and I knew that I was just won. And they moved the shows quick. They had finals and prejudging back to back. That's how the protocols were around that time. The crazy. They said, okay, prejudging, and then finals 5 minutes later. So I got my pro card like this. So as which I usually you have to wait your whole day, finals, prejudging. I didn't have to wait. And I was like, oh, this is crazy. I'm gonna win. I'm about to be an IFBB Pro. Really fucking cool.
What was the community like? Because I'm sure a lot of people that were there were familiar, at least to a
Yeah.
degree, what was involved to get on the stage that day.
There was a lot of guys there that knew my story coming into it, and they're like, dude, yep, this is your time, man. I'm like, yeah, this is it. But yeah, it was super special.
Oh,
I
I
think
bet I've just felt it contagious in
Andre,
that way, right? You can't help but feel that way for another person, especially people in the sport that understand how much dedication there is.
Click, we're all rooting for each other. Brady got his card. I got my card. Fantastic. Kellen ended up getting his card. He's an IFB Pro. Really good physique too. But yeah, no, it was one of those ones where it's like, oh man, everyone kind of like had ideas what was going on, and Austrian, what's his name now? Another guy. He took the picture of me after. Um, Leo, Leo's his name. Damn, I can't believe I remember that. He took the picture. He's like, dude, holy shit, this is awesome. I'm like, yeah, buddy, this is great. And he took the picture of me holding my trophy, tears coming down. Fuck yeah, it was awesome.
Moments like that are the best because you can always go back into them as well. It's like a core memory is made and you can
I
feel
just remembered it
everything
all
of
right
that
now.
feeling. Oh, I love that for you.
I just went through it again. I'm like, oh man, everyone was like fist bumping.
That
It's such a
energy's all there.
camaraderie.
That's great.
Bodybuilding's so good at the high level. Like a lot of tic tacky stuff now, and like amateurs, a bunch of like shit talking. They shit talk the judges. Like shut the fuck up. Like the judges are judges, man. You look like ass. Fuck, dude, you look good. It's such a good camaraderie, and I want so many people to understand that the competitive bodybuilding scene is like, dude, do it. It's like fun. Like a lot of people are like, oh, I don't know. Like you do it. You'll get inspired and instilled with such energy. It's great. There's a lot of noise. There's a lot of bullshit, a lot of fakes, a lot of shitty people, a lot of like, but there is the cores of the groups that of the high level athlete. Oh man, it's next level, man. Everyone has their hand on your back. Yeah, good job. Next time. Or holy shit, you did it. Congrats. It's a good community.
Goal wise, I mean, obviously the Pro Card was the goal, the focus for so long. You have Team UHQ, so you brought a brick and mortar gym to life.
I'm right.
What's on the agenda for you? Because you're kind of conquering things.
Yeah, so I got the Pro Card, and then I took some time off bodybuilding, and I was like, I literally, for the first time in my life, I took off like 4 months. I started mountain biking. I took a really kind liking to it. Almost got in some racing and stuff like that, like actual racing. I had some ideas mulling around. We had a little Team UHQ at the old sub shop. Then in March this year, I was like, so last year, sorry, I was getting ready for a show. I tore my rectus femoris tendon in my leg, and that 4 weeks out. So I was like, okay, there's my pro debut. I was looking to get that pro debut under my belt. Open Team UHQ at the old place, and then we had that going. Ended up selling the store this year. I'm in prep at this point for this year for a show, and I ended up breaking my thumb. I don't know if you've seen my post, but I broke my thumb. I shattered my thumb in 2 places, and I had my nails just growing back now. I don't know, you guys can't see it, but yeah, my nails are just growing back now. And I was 4 weeks out from that show. So 2 years in a row, got foiled, and I knew myself, I'm not coming in at anything less than 100% or like 98%, because no one's perfect at this pro debut. I don't want to have anything to like hold a grudge against myself. So next year. So now, fast forward, we opened up a brand new facility, 5,000 square feet, all modern equipment, beautiful, well set. Shout out to my partner, Vaughn, my business partner. He had a lot of all the design stuff was on him. We market the shit out of that place. We have it all set and ready to go. Super, super welcoming environment. Like, again, it's one of it's private too. We're doing limited memberships, so it's like really close knit. Awesome. It's again, that's something. Rock on. Again, this is all part of manifestation, the energy, the meditation, the breathing every day that I do. What I want to manifest over the last 7 years has happened. And I'll keep on doing that. Regardless what's put forward of me, I manifest. I want this. I want 2 locations. I want to be a top level pro, and I want this all before I'm 40. All right. Let's
where the
fucking
focus
do this.
goes, the energy flows. I'm a huge believer in that.
You breathe. You can almost breathe through just about anything. Everyone's like,
true.
What? Dude, you take a couple deep breaths, you could be getting fire rain down on you from above, and you take a couple deep breaths, and you're like, okay. Now, mind you, this is real. I'm going to execute this. I might die, but you take a few deep breaths, and you're like, I got to get to that spot where I'm dead. And if I sit here, I die, but at least I tried. There's nothing worse than someone that just sits there and never goes to the stadium.
They're the ones that normally do the talking.
But that's I didn't even need to say it.
Yeah.
That's all I'm like, dude, you go to the stadium, like do it. Just fucking do it. Like, it's enough of the talk and I should do that. I might do that. Enough. Like, you have to just do it. And again, that's the what I've been doing over the last, say, 2 years, regardless of injuries and whatever and whatnot. I've been really focused on making sure the brand is built. Everything's going into that positive direction. And next year we're doing the winter warrior hashtag. So I'll be prepping for an early spring show, probably a couple shows, early spring, May, and then June.
Amazing.
I'm not telling anyone what shows, but they're coming late April or mid-April to May, and then June. People might get the idea of what's happening, but the shows are there, and you can just be like, "Oh, is he doing that one?"
Fair enough. Leave them a little air of mystery, and they're sure as hell going to know when you are there, because without a doubt, you're going to be bringing some serious shit to that stage.
2 years off, yeah, I better. If not, it's kind of like a letdown. But again, at this time, I'm ready to just get on stage again. It's been 2 years from competing 3 times a year to not competing in 2 years. Oh,
I take it you're expanding beyond the bands for these ones.
Yeah, now they got the HQ going now. I guess I got some waste.
No excuses
there, right?
with the facility that nice.
Yeah, that's right. I'm like, just stopped working out in the garage. I think in April of this year.
You talk about
Yeah.
everything you went through, and you can't tell me that the gym space wasn't the thing that helped process so much of what you're feeling on the inside. And that's available to everybody. And yet we just kind of leave it over there and say, oh, I don't have time. And yet we know screen time's at an all-time high. And how many times is Netflix asking people, hey, are you still there? Because it's just like
I
that should
banned
be the
Netflix.
existential crisis, no?
I banned streaming from my home. We just collect. I have 2,000 hard copy movies. I had Netflix.
There you go. You're like, screw you. I'm gonna be Netflix.
Yeah, but if it wasn't for the gym, I probably wouldn't be here. And that could be a message to anybody out there that's struggling. Go do a lunge somewhere in the park. Do crab walks up the hill. Make yourself sweat. Cry about shit. Climb a tree. Like I'm not kidding. This is like legit stuff. Like go throw rocks. Like go pick up like a log in the forest and just whip it around. Get angry at that shit. You know, you're by yourself. You're with you. You're challenging yourself, and you're getting rid of the toxic energy, the toxic vibration. You're just get angry and let it out, release. You know, again, that saved my life. Like, yeah, the pro card, the bodybuilding, yeah, sure, but I'm just talking about fitness in general. I even through my hardest times, I remember going to the gym. I was like hungover. I maybe even been drunk a few times. Yeah, I definitely was hammered a couple of times. I went there, Brandon picked me up. Yeah, and I still got there and I got it done. I felt better after. And maybe it wasn't at that very moment, but it's still, I looked forward to that part of my day. And it was like, I'm going to go to the gym and pump up and I'll come home. I may at that point, may have done drugs or whatever that night and kind of went off the loop end. But I always woke up or went to sleep. I'm going to go to the gym. It's crazy. It was nuts. And it was there. It was always there. It was like the gym was always there for me no matter what. No other, you can't rely on people entirely these days. It was the gym was always there. And it kind of left me feeling, at least, as I always say, 1% better every day. I remember I felt a little bit better going to the gym. I didn't feel like a useless pile of shit, even though I was as angry as I was at myself and at the world. I remember going to the gym and I came back and I got a good pump right now. I feel great. I'd eat like a huge bowl of like pasta and like beef because I didn't give a shit at the time, as long as I was eating food. And I felt better. So again, that's a little lesson to everyone, a little note to everyone about the gym, and it doesn't even have to be the gym. Just go for a run, man.
I mean, even like for those that are like, how do I even begin? Just get up and go for a walk.
And we're not asking people to be bodybuilders and like IFBB pros. No, we're talking about a fitness aspect in your life that gives you that endorphin release. If people always think like, oh, endorphin release, they think drugs, alcohol, sex. You know what I mean? They think these things like, oh yeah, I'm gonna endorphin release. I'm gonna have bad food, pizza. Oh, that feels so good. I feel good watching TV. But how do you feel after that? Every time you work out, you can't fucking tell me you don't feel better. You can't tell me you don't feel better. How many times have you eaten pizza and felt better? In the moment of biting that said pizza, yeah, okay, it feels good. Oh, it tastes so good. Yeah, awesome. Then after, you're like, ugh. It's never that when you come home from the gym, you don't feel like, oh man, that felt great. I don't know. That's just me. Even if you're tired and run down.
It's literally the highlight of the day. And it was actually interesting on TikTok. I started to see this trend of people that were basically trying to verbalize gym culture as a little bit toxic when they talk about consistency. Like everyone's trying to drill consistency into you. What the fuck? Like it shouldn't be about that. But I have such a different viewpoint of it where I was like, almost everyone I know that really loves the gym. And again, speaking, the gym could be anything to you, whether it's a class or you go work out outside or are like me and enjoy a traditional gym space. But I'm like, you go back because of that feeling in the after, that it does feel so good. And you notice that it filters into all the different areas of your life. If I can do that, what else can I do? And then that's the building block. And I'm like, that is what consistency is all about. It's not about building this toxic culture to make people feel bad about not going. Right. It's the culture saying, hey, I haven't had one bad side effect of doing this. Why aren't we doing more of that?
Get up, do something 1% better. I'm not telling you you're an asshole if you're not. I kind of am, but I'm like, there's things in life you could be doing right now that are better than just going home and putting your feet up because you're a little bit tired. So fucking what? I'm tired too, man. Like, just get something done. It's such a good uplifting part of your day you should look forward to. Like I said, it doesn't need to be much. Get 15-pound dumbbells. Do like HIIT cardio. Just a little bit. Get your shoulders moved. You know what I mean? No one's asking people to sacrifice 2 hours out of their day, but sometimes it turns into that.
Totally.
Starts with 40 minutes or 30 minutes, 20 minutes, and then they're like, man, I really like this. Then the wife's like, where are you going? You're all jazzed up in your tights and your spandex shirt. You're like, well, honey, I'm going to the gym. Like, oh.
Honestly, one thing that I appreciate you so much, and people that I see in your arena of bodybuilding, when somebody doesn't know you or they just see you on Instagram, there could be assumptions made, especially when you see somebody with this physique and you have such a presence about you. But I also know that you have a lot of heart, and truly, even if your message does come across very strong sometimes, the basis of it is that you truly are passionate about getting people moving and experiencing the benefits that you have experienced, especially on the fact that you've experienced it on such a grand, life-changing scale. So I commend you on your mission. I have a softer approach.
Yeah.
But that's why I love chatting with different people that really we have this commonality of getting people on the same mission. Life is for living, and if you are gifted health and you are gifted with life, and you and I, for separate reasons, know there's a fragility to life, and that is always present, and it's very easy for us to forget. If I have this gift of health right now, why wouldn't I want to exercise my limits a little bit and have appreciation and gratitude that you have the ability to have movement in your life? That should be celebrated, and exercise is the way to celebrate that.
What people want to do with their spare time, and now more than ever though, because we have the phones in our fucking face. Look at that ass looks nice. Double click it, and even though they have a wife over there, oh, that looks good, and they're going through. Oh, that guy's pretty cute. Oh yeah. Oh, they're all lifting. Okay, cool. Dude, you could be doing that. Girl, get off your ass. And dude, your shitty ass shallow chest, you're looking at all these people. Oh, those just do steroids. Fuck you. I give you every steroid in the book, and you're still going to look half as good as me.
Well, that's a whole separate topic, but it is a very good point that
exactly.
There's no magic pill. There's nothing that comes without the work.
Go have some fun. You know what I mean? We have all this stuff at our fingertips. You see so many people doing it. And a lot of people outside of the fitness industry either pass judgment or cast shade upon us. And it's like, dude, you know how good we feel? I can speak for myself. Some guys, they take a little extreme, and there's some things that are a little sketch, and it's like, oh man, like, is your blood panel good? Like, are you healthy? You know what I mean? There's dark areas in any aspect in life, and in any hobby, there's always that couple shadowy figures, you know what I mean? And that's another topic. But for the general part, you just need to be moving. You're just getting things going. Your wife's going to love you more. You're going to love your husband more. You have your circulation is running. Oh, everything's
You're going to love yourself more, most importantly.
You love yourself first, then everyone around you is directly impacted. It's facts. You can walk in the room, you're like, I'm having a fucking great day. Like, I feel really good. You're going to feel that. They're going to feel that. You walk through that door and you're just all bubbly and you feel it, but you don't need to say anything. It's just coming off your chest. It just feels right. Man, people are going to be affected by that. Self-love is huge. I preach the shit out of that, man.
So I end every ATFW podcast with a favorite quote or mantra, which I feel like you've given me so many through this conversation, but I'm going to let you choose kind of a final note to leave us with so we can take that energy for our day.
No matter what the fuck happens in your life, your day, if you are breathing, be grateful and use that.
You've just listened to All Things Fitness and Wellness, the Celebrity Series. This episode was brought to you by the British Columbia Personal Training Institute. Learn how to train, gain, and retain clients. New episodes of the Industry Series drop every Monday and the Celebrity Series every Wednesday. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe so you never miss out on hearing from industry thought leaders and influencers. We are on a mission to help everyone live a life fit and well.